Hey everybody, welcome back to Church Talk. In today's episode, I'm here at my local church, once again, The Bridge in Poca, West Virginia, with my pastor, Pastor Mike Ramsey. Pastor, how you doing today?
I'm great. Great. How about you?
Good. We finally got a chance to sit down together. It's been it's been busy. It's been busy here in the past couple of months. So we've been trying to get this scheduled, but to get the three of us together, which the person you're not seeing is behind the camera, but to get the three of us together, it's been a little bit hectic to try to schedule that. But here we are.
The life and ministry, right?
Yeah, true. So Pastor, just to kind of start off, let everybody know about roughly like how long has our church been a church and where did it start at? And give us a little bit of history to where we've grown to now with our numbers now.
Our church started in Charleston, is in our former pastor's living room. Awesome. They were members of Living Word, and the Lord laid it upon Pastor Johnny to start a fellowship, and they started in his living room. In August of 1984. This is our 40 years of celebrating the ministry.
Awesome.
So that was 1984. I didn't come and join the church until 1986. So I've been in this one church since I got saved. I got saved in this church, been in this church since then.
That's awesome. You don't normally hear that. But when the church was created, I was 4 years old.
I was a little older than 4.
So now to bring it to where we are today, I know just a few years ago we got this building and we've continued to grow. What are what's our average attendance versus like those who would call this their church, their
If we had everybody show up that said this is their church, we'd be somewhere around 250 to 300 people. Average attendance now on Sunday mornings around 200. That includes the children's downstairs and the folks in the sanctuary. We run somewhere around 165 to 180. This past week we had a little over 200 in the sanctuary. So it's been progressively growing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good, especially for our area. Our area it seems like around 50 to 60 people is the normal size for. So we're doing really well. And as I do more research, I'm seeing about 50 to 60 people per church is the average nationwide.
Right.
So in our small area of West Virginia, it's like, I thought a small church is like 30, 40, 50 people, and I'm finding that's the average. So this program is kind of more geared towards the small to mid-sized church.
Right.
We're definitely not large. I don't
Not
think any
large,
church in the state is a large church by that means. But with that, I've spoken with a few of our leaders about like the church app and how Rebecca set that up. But there's parts of it to where she can't see like the financial parts of it, like when people give.
Right.
Can you tell us how difficult was it to get a church app set up for giving, and has it been like worth the investment? Or
absolutely, it is fantastic. And Subsplash is who we use, and they worked with us through it all, getting it set up. It took a lot of. Now Rebecca does a lot of the work, and on her end of taking care of our website, taking care of the app itself. Getting messages on and things and such, but getting it set up has been really an easy thing to do. I mean, we didn't do anything. A couple times we'd have to get on and touch a few things, but it was all taken care of. We used to use an app called Givelify, and they would give on the Givelify app, but and it really wasn't an app for us. It was just a giving platform. Well, this app has the giving platform, and it takes care also of our website. And it goes right into our bank account. Our CFO is able to look at that, know exactly what the finances are coming in. She'll tell me, hey, you got folks that gave at a Tuesday night at 11 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So it makes it easy for folks to give. If they forgot, in this day, there's not a whole lot of cash that comes through a church anymore. It's either, it's a credit card, a debit card. Still, we have a lot of folks who do checks and whatnot, but the app makes it so easy.
What's a check? No, I'm joking.
Again, he was 4 when we started.
I'm not that young, but I'm not that old either. So.
Andrew would be the one to say, what is a check?
Yeah, what's a check?
previous debit card.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that kind of brings it down to another thing about with our church and the size of our church is how's it structured as far as like how are the finances handled when you reach a church of our size? Is there, I know you mentioned a CFO. Is there like a council that kind of looks over the finances with everybody? Or
they will at the end of every year. We'll take a look at the finances. We'll have and anybody at any time, they're able to look over any of the balance sheets or whatever they need that they have. We have a team that is we call it our finance committee. They take up our offering, they input everything, then they get it reconciled with the bank, and then our CFO, which the best thing about our CFO, she doesn't attend our church. She's not even in our state.
Yeah.
So it makes it so much easier. So all she's doing is looking at the money coming in, where the money goes. She puts it in and reconciles it, puts it in accounts, and it's pretty simple for us.
Yeah, that's something I never really thought of, is having somebody completely outside the church and outside of the state even to be kind of looking at all those things, because a lot of times when you're in-house, you get emotionally attached to things going on, and so you can either allow more spending than what there should be, or you can go the opposite direction and try to not allow anything because you're looking at numbers.
Right.
To where she's on the outside, I guess it's a she. I think
Yes.
I think I heard you say she.
Yeah.
Is that they're just looking at numbers and they're just watching out, and they're not emotionally involved in.
It's numbers. It's not a person. I don't look at who gives. They know how much. They know what each individual gives. I don't have anything to do with that. I don't worry about that. I'm able to minister and not have to worry about and not feel like that I got to do this for this one or what because somebody would give. Unless somebody from the outside gives, I really don't know specifically who gives what.
Yeah.
Which
cool.
I love.
Yeah. And I guess something else that just kind of right along with that, with the structure of our church, is for we are a non-denominational church. How was the structure built, and how has it changed to be to where we're at today, to meet the size of our congregation? I know recently we were, myself included, many pastors were put in place as in pastoral staff. It's not, say, staff. I don't mean like on a paid staff. I mean we're volunteer pastoral staff. How's the church kind of structured when it comes down to being a non-denominational church, where we don't have that denomination over top of us to say this is how you're going to do things? How does all that look for our size?
Well, the way that this church started out, it was started out as a pastor-run church. It still is basically, but as we started growing, I realized I couldn't do everything, and so I started realizing that we needed to set people in place, finance committees, deacon boards, things like that. Just for the simple fact, when I first became the pastor of the church, we had 30 or 35 folks, and it was pretty simple to take care of. As you grow, you realize that. And then when I first took over, I was working a full-time job as well, which was really difficult. And so I was really into, hey, we're going to put a board together. We're going to put these leaders in place so that, yes, at the end of the day, I know I have to be the final say, but I have the checks and balances of all the other leaders. Right. So that the church is now at the point where, like you said, we put in our pastoral staff because I really believe that a church is only as good as the whole leadership team. No church should be just one person. That no person can really handle that, especially as we're getting to our size. It needs to be a place where we can grow together, and my heart is to grow ministries out of it.
Yeah. Now, something I just kind of thought of is looking back to see where we've come from to where we are now. Is there anything that you think, and I know I'm kind of throwing this on you like last minute, but is there anything that you think that maybe should have been implemented sooner at a smaller congregation size that maybe we waited, maybe too long, or maybe not too long, but maybe, is there anything that we should have implemented sooner while we were a smaller congregation?
I think structurally, I think that yes, there will be more demanding on the other people that are going to be a part of the staff of the team, because as you grow, there has to be other people that grow with you. And I'm one of those type of folks is, hey, I want to get this done. If I don't get it done right now, I'll go do it. Well, I wish at the beginning it was, yes, I know we want to get this done, but kind of growing it in that person before you grew it into the church itself. Yeah. So that's one of the things is really, and what I'm trying to do now is grow the individuals as we grow. They're growing into ministry. Hey, I don't want to know. I'll help take care of the issues. I'll take care of things as we go. Just tell me what you need to do, how we're going to do it, and what it's going to accomplish doing it. Yeah. Because I want to see everybody grow in their ministry.
Right.
Because this is not my ministry.
Right.
It's God's ministry. I'm just a shepherd. But then it takes all of us to make it grow. I couldn't have 250 or 300 people here. Yeah. Alone. Yeah. So it takes us all, and so I think that the biggest thing is to be more intent in schooling your leaders to say, this is what I want. I don't want you to yes me. I want you to grow you. Right. That's the biggest thing I think of that I wish I would have put into place a little sooner. Yeah. Because it is difficult, again, especially when I was working, doing, okay, I'm going to do it, I'll do it. You don't want to do it, I'll do it. Right. Well, at the end of the day, we got to remember this, pastors, is that just because you see it doesn't mean everybody else sees it. Just because you think it's a good idea doesn't mean everybody else is going to think it's a good idea. Right. And so you have to get buy-in from everybody, and I think that's one of the things. I'm full on. Let's go do it. And sometimes we just got to slow down. Yeah. So I guess that brings us to our last kind of topic is, where do you see what's the vision for our church in the next few years? Where do you see our local church going? And then, but then on the broader scale, what do you feel like the Lord is speaking to you as the church body, as the general body of the church itself? I'm excited about what God's doing. Yeah. I am totally excited about what God is doing. I see that we have a good model of a church. And I believe that the church is only as strong as the unity in the church of itself. And as you grow, some of the things that you see, some of the things you do, and one of the things I will say is handle situations quicker. Yeah. Handle situations quicker, because it just causes the turmoil. It's going to happen. You're going to have to handle it sooner or later. It's a whole lot easier to handle at the beginning. But I see with us, I've always felt this. I always felt that we were going to be kind of a spawning port of churches. And I really believe that. I believe that there's going to be a time when we're going to be able to say, hey, we got a group of folks that are in this area. Let's start some stuff here. And we've got a group. And that way, the best thing about here is we've got the acreage here, and we've got the green space, that if we have churches or campuses in other places, they don't necessarily have to have green space. They can always come to their mother church and do outside activities and things like that. So for us, it's growing ministry. The Lord spoke to me 4 or 5 years ago, and his words to me was to minister to the ministers, grow the ministry, grow that in the ministry, and spend my time in that place, so that men and women of God that are growing begin to feel and fulfill all the call that's in their life. Yeah. And that's what I see for us here at the Bridge. I believe that we have, we have a good model. We have good relationship. Our big deal is we really like to push relationships with people, and it's what we want, and we want to see that grow. For the church as a whole, I really believe it's going to get back to that relational thing. We've had all of the big and the mega, and those are great. God's moving, people are getting saved, and I believe it was a time where it needed to be. There needed to be places where people went and got healed. They were encouraged again, and somewhere along that line. But I think that basic relationship, not only in the church, but in the United States as a whole, is just those one-on-one relationships. Those relationships, I believe, corporately, the body. I believe this with all sincerity and all fullness in me, is I believe God is wanting to structure it to where the body is really coming together. Yeah. Really building relationships. I love it when we leave here, church is done at 7:45, 8 o'clock on a Wednesday, then you guys hang out here until 10 or 11. I know y'all don't like it, but I know you do. But I like that, and I like that type of format. And I think that is some of the things that I believe God is doing in the church today. It's about unity. It's about and it's not just bringing the bridge unified. Right. It's bringing the body of Christ back to unity. Yeah. And I think that's the most important thing. As we look at church as a whole, we're inundated with the world, and I think that the church is getting tired. Right. Of being ostracized from the world and from what everything is doing. I believe it's time for us that we get back to where we know what we're supposed to do. Yeah. And I think God wants to do that. I think the Father is truly. I think He loves what's happening in the church. Yeah. And I think if we continue to do that and build that, it's going to be an incredible thing. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for being on the episode, and I love it. There'll be a lot more, I'm sure. There's some we could probably talk about church for a long time. We can, but I know today it's like 10 to 15 minutes is like our span of attention, our attention span. Is. So yeah, we don't want to go too long and go too deep, but maybe eventually we will. Yeah. So guys, thank you all for joining today and watching. And if this is the type of content that you like, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like the video, because believe it or not, that helps send it out to other people. For some odd reason, when you hit the like button, YouTube knows that, hey, other people might want to see that. So make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and share it. And we'll see you guys next time on Church Talk.